and we're going to do a little segment here called Stormy Does the Research So You Don't Have to. And today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most bet props ahead of Super Bowl 56. And when I say ahead, I mean it literally, because it's the coin toss, and it happens before the game starts. So I even have a handy-dandy coin of my own. We're going to call this side, the fabulous Las Vegas side, heads for the purpose of this segment. The deck of cards, tails. And this will determine what I'm actually going to wager on the game first and foremost, okay? So let's give this a go. Got some air? Heads! Heads, 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 heads. Okay, so that's what I'm betting, minus 105. That's what we got here. It really does grind my gears that you don't get even money on it. But did you know that when it comes to the coin toss, there's more ways than just one to bet it? Yes, you can bet the outcome. You can also bet which team is going to win the toss. Both at minus 105 for the 50-50 shot. You can also bet if the team that wins the coin toss will win or lose the game. Good to note, though, while we see that plus 350 on the screen for yes for the Bengals or plus 170 for the Rams to win the toss and win the game seems very attractive, only twice in the last decade has the coin toss winner gone on to be the eventual Super Bowl champion. The most recent instance coming in 2014 when the Seahawks beat the Broncos to win it all, and they won the toss with tails. Now, for my tails never fails crew out there, this next stat might be hard for you to hear. While tails has come out on top 29 times to heads 26, a 53% leader all time, still a relatively even split, as you can see. And as for recent history, tails has failed in 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls, including most recently the Bucks and Chiefs game. But hey, maybe that just means tails is due. You never know. I would like you to consider this. However, if we're still in the instant gratification game, we want to get action early in the game, a bet that actually has much better odds for you is going to be betting the opening kickoff. Do you think it'll be a touchback? Yes or no? There's only been 2 instances in the last 28 Super Bowls and just 1 in the last 8 years that the opening kickoff hasn't been returned, that it's been a touchback. So betting no, you get good value, you get plus money, plus 110, plus 100 at most books right now. I think we should bet the touchback. That's just me. I'm just saying, bet no touchback. So that's a fun one. I guess I'm betting heads, though. I'm usually of the tails never fails variety. Although when it happened to our guy Josh Allen against the Chiefs this year, that did deter me a touch because tails did fail again in that instance. But every day on the show this week, we're taking deeper dives into a lot of these different prop markets, trying to give you the best options and information available ahead of the big game. So today I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into some of these special teams and defensive props. I think particularly when it comes to the kicking game, there's a lot of value. Everybody's favorite position, kickers, right? And I know it's a joke, but I take it kind of seriously. I feel like Evan McPherson is America's sweetheart right now. This postseason, he's sinking game winners. He's 12 for 12 on his field goals for this postseason. He's made all of his extra points. Even in the regular season, he only missed 5 field goals on 45 attempts and 2 extra points missed on 52 attempts. He's Evan McAutomatic. And Matt Gay ain't no slouch either. Second best field goal percentage in the league this year. Missed just twice in 34 attempts, but he's also now in the postseason missed 2 more times on 9 attempts. But with regards to the point after try, 9 for 9 in the playoffs and hit at a 98% clip for extra points throughout the year. Now, okay, Stormy, shut your trap. What does that mean in terms of betting? What can I bet on here? Well, some of the popular props with regards to kicking field goals you can do. One that I actually cashed in the AFC Championship game 2 weeks ago was betting the total over 3.5 field goals for the game. That's plus 100, so it's not as much value as we've seen so far in this postseason, but it's because Evan McPherson and Matt Gay are so statistically good. You can also bet each individual team. The Bengals made field goal, or it might be listed as an Evan McPherson made field goal. Same thing for Rams and Matt Gay. It just might be listed a little bit different. Their over-unders are set at 1.5. For the Bengals, it's minus 120. For the Rams kicker, it's minus 175. An interesting thing on some online books like DraftKings, for example, you can also bet the exact number of field goals that you think the team will have. So Evan McPherson, like I've said, he has made 12 this postseason, 4 for 4 in each of the 3 playoff games so far. Let's say you think He's going to hit 4 or more again this year. That's plus 180, plus 850, excuse me, if you think he'll do that. And there's a bunch of different options. And if you think it's 3, if you think it's 2, if you bet the exact number, then you're getting significant plus money value. Bengals yardage, though, in general, this is another one I think was really interesting for Evan McPherson. The total field goal yardage for him, which you just saw on the screen there, 60.5 yards. He's doubled that, plus in each of the games that he's played this postseason so far, he was 4 for 4 for 132 total yards against Vegas, 189 total yards at Tennessee, 146 total yards at Kansas City. I mean, he's by himself gone over what the total number of yards are for the entire game, which is set at 124.5. You can also bet the longest field goal or shortest field goal in the game. The longest field goal by any team gets a little bit more dicey, though, I will say, because Matt Gay hasn't really hit a lot of long field goals. We've talked a lot throughout the week when it comes to Evan McPherson, the trust that Zach Taylor has in him at pretty much anywhere on the field. He, even from beyond 50 yards out, is able to make these kicks. McPherson's gone over the number, which is 47.5 for the longest made field goal, is what they've set that in by any team. He's gone over in 2 of the 3 games this postseason. Matt Gay's, however, in this year's playoff, his long was 46. His other 2 longest were 40 yards each. So a little bit more value when it comes to those, if you think that you can get in on it. But I really think it's so interesting just because I feel like there's so many over possibilities for kickers. No wonder MVP liability, I know I told you guys this earlier this week, for Evan McPherson is actually insane because no kicker has ever won MVP in the Super Bowl, so he's 150-1. But people are like, he makes all his field goals. If it comes down to a game winner, and for whatever reason, he's 3 for 3 again like that, there's only 1 other touchdown scored or something, situationally, people think. Another guy that has a lot of liability, Aaron Donald on the Rams. He opened at 500-1 for Super Bowl MVP, now 16-1. One better at BetMGM actually placed a $7,500 wager on him at 16-1 to win. 17.6% of the Super Bowl MVP handle, or up to 21% now. See, it just keeps growing. Everybody believes in Aaron Donald. 18% of bets are on him, which kind of leads me to some of these sack props, sack numbers that we can get involved in on the defensive side. Remember, all these trends you can find at vsin.com/subscribe. Point Spread Weekly, our daily newsletter, all of this information you can track with our help. But as far as the sack totals go, in the game, the over-under set at 5.5. If you think it's going to go over, plus 110. We love that plus money value. You can also bet those numbers for each team individually. The Bengals sack total over under 1.5. The Rams 3.5. And on the surface, I feel like you look at that 3.5 for the Rams and you're like, yeah, I'm betting that over. I don't know, maybe not so fast. I know in the regular season, according to Next Gen Stats, their sack rate of 7.4% ranked 5th in the NFL this regular season. They're obviously very effective, and we know on the other side, the Bengals offensive line not as effective.